everybody, this is Kia and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I know it's a little late to be saying Happy New Year, but all the same, for all of those I haven't spoke to or haven't seen, Happy New Year, and I hope you're staying safe and having a wonderful New Year so far. So welcome to the first of 12 videos for the rest of the year. I'm going to be doing a birthstone makeup look every month. Last year when I was thinking about what can I do to start frequently posting on my channel and making sure I do tutorials every month, I thought about birthdays. And so I thought about gemstones and doing a makeup tutorial for every gemstone for every month. And as confirmation, it seemed like BH Cosmetics actually came out with a plan to do birthstone makeup palettes, or excuse me, eyeshadow palettes for every month for this year as well. So I will be using those to conduct these videos every month. So this is the first look for January for Garnet. I think it came out pretty well. What do you think? If you want to see how I achieved this look, keep watching, and happy birthday to all of those January babies out there. I do apologize that this video is super late. It will be posted on January 31st, but it took forever for the eyeshadow palette to get here. I ordered it at 12:02 on January 1st when it became available, and I just got it this week, the last week in January, due to all of the situations going on with the mail. So I do apologize for it being late, but again, if you want to keep on watching to see how I got this look, then stay tuned. Thanks. Hi, so let's get started. As always, we're going to start out with our FENTY lip scrub. We never want to have dry lips, so we're going to go ahead and put this on, and we'll let that marinate on our lips while we apply everything else. And then next we're going to use the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Pro Filt'r Soft Silk Primer. And I'm pretty generous. I use about 3 pumps. And I'm just going to massage that all into my face. And I apply it just like it's lotion, rubbing upwards so we don't give ourselves wrinkles, and just apply it all over the skin under my eyes. And then we're going to give that a couple of moments to go in and fill in the skin. And since it's cold outside, I'm using a hydrating primer. My skin has been on the drier side, so trying to infuse moisture back in any way that I can. So I'll give it about a minute to set in. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Powder Foundation, and I'm using the shade 320. I'm typically 330 in the wintertime and maybe 375 in the summertime, but because this powder tends to run a bit dark, I actually went down a shade from what I usually would wear, and I made sure that I still kept in with the same description. So if it's olive, I think I'm olive medium gold or something, I don't remember right now, but I just went down in the shade that had the same description. So that's something to be mindful if you purchase this. This is my first time using it, so we're gonna see how I like it on camera. And it's your typical compact, it's your typical compact, and it has the FB embossed inside of the compact. And it comes with a little sponge, and I'm actually going to use the sponge today. I've watched a couple of tutorials and I actually liked the application of the sponge. So and this is supposed to be a lightweight, not feel it on your skin type of powder. It can be medium to full coverage from what they say. So we shall see. And I do have a actual lot of discoloration, more so than I would usually have, because I dermaplaned yesterday for the first time and I'm not used to it. So I cut myself, and yeah. And I actually think this is a fantastic shade match. And this is something I would recommend everybody, especially now, since it's harder to be color matched. If you don't want to go into Sephora to be color matched, they will still color match you, but the experience is very different. So if you can see, this is me with no makeup on this side, and I've actually put makeup pretty much over this side with the sponge, and I actually really like the coverage. I think it's a pretty good match as well. And I'm just doing a press and slide type situation here. You can really see it on my nose. But I'm really actually liking this color very much. It does appear to be buildable, because I see my skin getting more and more even the more that I apply. And I don't typically wear my nails this long, so I have a learning curve, and I typically don't use the little flat sponges that come with it. So trying to pick up product with long nails and a sponge that I don't typically use, I'm just trying everything new today. But I actually really like this, and I really like the color. So again, just press and slide. And I'm actually just going to blot up under my eye, which I probably should have did on the other side. But since the eye area is where your skin is the thinnest on your face, you don't want to pull so much. I literally feel like I have nothing on my skin at all. My skin just feels good, if that makes any sense at all. So the claims are that it's supposed to be light as air, blurring, which I would definitely say that it is very lightweight. I do feel like my skin is blurred. It's supposed to be a medium to full coverage. I definitely think it's giving me full coverage too. This is more on the lighter side of full coverage, but because I can still see like my little cut right here, but it did cancel out the redness. It's just like a little spot, which is good enough for me. I'm not a person who likes to have like complete coverage, so I'm fine with having a little having some imperfections shine through on a daily basis. Now, if I was going to an award ceremony or if it was like a special occasion, then I would go for a heavier application. But on my day-to-day, if I had imperfections peeking through, I would be fine with that. I more so want my skin to look even than I do want it to look caked and flawless without any imperfections on a regular day-to-day basis. So this is what we're looking like. I actually really like it. It's not a full matte. But I do like how it comes out on camera. So we'll keep going with our other applications. So for concealer, I'm just going to use the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r concealer, and I'm just going to use my regular color, which is 330. And a lot of people would do this step before they put on powder, but I'm going to do it after just to see how it acts. And I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk concealer brush, and I'm just going to blend that in. I will say for the foundation, if you have drier skin, it will show flakes. Right now, you can't see it on the camera, but definitely up close, I can see where I was a little bit dry in this area. So I probably should have put on more primer, which typically I use a lot of primer because it doubles as like a moisturizer for me. And that's one of the reasons I like to let mine sit a little bit. Okay. So I'm not having any problems with this area. A lot of times when people use powder foundations, they will put their concealer on before they do the powder foundation and let that dry down. Just because a lot of times if you put cream on top of a powder, it can make it lift. But that doesn't seem to be an issue. And one thing I do like about this combination that I'm using, so I'm using my regular liquid foundation color. And I think I might actually, well, I don't know how this foundation color would look in the liquid, the 320. I'm curious to know how the concealer would look in the 320 shade. It's supposed to be complementary to the foundation. But what I do like about this is that it has a peachy undertone on top of this 320, which is very good for brightening and canceling out any dark circles, because I'm filming this at 1:30 in the morning because I've been procrastinating all day in filming this. I just got a new video game. I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I've been playing that, trying to put in hours to beat the game. And anybody who plays Assassin's Creed knows that it is hours and hours and hours of gameplay before you beat the game. So I don't know why I'm trying to, like, it's Saturday. So I don't know why I'm trying to put so many hours in the game, even though I know I'm going to be playing this for hours and hours and hours. But anywho. Yep. So far so good. I actually really am liking how this application is looking. And I forgot to do my eyebrows. So anybody who wants your makeup to look good, the trick to fabulous looking makeup is not really the utensils that you use per se. And the reason I say that is because most brushes are going to do what you need them to do, which is blend. Blending is how you make your makeup look flawless. And that's what takes time. When you see these models on campaigns, yes, some of it is photoshopped, but a lot of it has to do with the blend of the makeup. So I'm having a little difficulty blending out the concealer down here. And that's probably because I let it dry down. So I'm having to work a little bit harder. I should have did it one at a time like I did my eyes, but this is a learning experience because I literally haven't used powder foundation since I was in high school for prom, which was 12 years ago. Whew. Well, going on 12 years. May will be 12. Oh my goodness. Whew. All right. So I'm doing some inspecting and I noticed that the concealer pulled off around this area where the where the concealer had dried down. So I'm just gonna go over it with some powder to blot that out. So note to self and anybody watching, it would be my suggestion to put on your concealer before you do this because it will lift. And again, my skin is dry right now, so that could contribute to it rubbing off, because I have seen some tutorials where people did it and it blended out fine. But my skin right now is just extremely dry, so I probably should have used some more primer. But yeah, but this is what it looks like. You can't really see, but if I get up close, you can still see those little colors of discoloration and where I have like a little dry patch right there. And then like a little dry patch right there. But overall, I still like it. Like I said, I'm gonna be wearing a mask anyway, but this will probably be something I would wear in the summertime, because I'm more hydrated. My skin is not dry during the summer months. It's really dry, and it's super cold. It was like 28 degrees today outside. So yeah, so I just feel like my skin is really, really dry, which is contributing to how it's displaying. And like I said, I just don't feel like I used enough primer to compensate for how dry my skin is. Again, it's also 2 o'clock in the morning. I washed my face and I didn't put any moisturizer on. I just went in with the primer. So I didn't do a lot of the steps I would typically do when filming, but I still like the way it looks on camera. I will take some pictures later, but I like the way it comes out in film. So that's how I feel right now. May not feel like that by the end of the tutorial. I still have bronzer to put on. And I'm actually going to go back and set my concealer with this. Just to see what happens, just because I'm curious. I'm not going to use like a setting powder because it's already powder. More than likely, I probably wouldn't even have to set it, to be honest, because it's a powder. But I'm just going to take my concealer brush that I used and just dab over everything to set that. And I'm really liking, I'm really liking this color a lot. And just like that, I really like that. Let me do my eyebrows. First going in with my spoolie. And just brushing them and shaping them. I would have typically done my eyebrows first before I put on foundation, but I actually just forgot today about my eyebrows, and then I looked and was like, my eyebrows look horrendous right now. So, and then as always, I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Brow Contour Pro. I have it in 5, I think. I have brown, black, deep. I thought it had the number on here, but anywho. So I'm gonna go in with the deepest shade and just start filling in my eyebrows. And as everybody knows, I fill in my eyebrows in the actual hair. I don't fill in, I don't create a line up under my eyebrow. I do it in my actual eyebrow hair. I find that when I go outside of my eyebrow to try to form a line, I don't like the way it looks. That's just me personally, and I feel like I have a lot of cleanup to do. And then I'm just going to use feather-like strokes to fill in the front of my brow. I feel like it was looking a little sparse today. And then just do some little feather-like strokes, and I'll go back and clean that up. Same on this side, inside my brow hair. Turn it to the other side. Inside my brow hair, I do my line. It's just easier for me that way, because see, you just saw I went above my brow line and it looks ridiculous. But that is the one thing I do like about this pencil. that it is soft enough for me to just go in with my finger and wipe away that little happy little mistake. In the words of Bob Ross, there are no mistakes. And so I'm just going to go back in with my spoolie and brush these where I want them to go. And then, I forgot to fill in my front. There we go. And then just do, so, and I say this in every video, like I have thicker eyebrows, so I don't typically have to do too much to my eyebrows because they are thicker. I just brush them up, brush them into whatever shape that I want, and then I just kind of take the brush and then brush them in it. I typically like a more squared eyebrow. That's how I'm feeling them. My eyebrows are naturally rounded, but I don't know. I just like the precision of a squared eyebrow. So yeah. And like I said, I just kind of shape with the spoolie and then go in with this and follow up. So now I'm going into the, what they call the highlighter color, but for me, this is what I would call, and I'm just rolling this up, this is what I would call my corrector shade. So where people use concealer, I just use this. And I pull too much out. It allows you to be very precise, and it's very good at making things look like they're not there. And then I'm just gonna go up under here, blot out that little situation right there. And for me, this is really how, if I want like a super neat eyebrow, this is really what gives it to me. I don't feel like I'm great at eyebrows, and then some days I have good days where I'm like, oh, my eyebrows look great today. And then I have other days where I'm like, ugh, my eyebrows are just not cooperating with me today. So I feel like today is one of the latter days where my eyebrows are just not it today. And I always tend to like my right eyebrow more than I like my left eyebrow. And it could be because I'm right-handed, so I feel like my right side always comes out better than my left side. And that could just be me being picky, but that's how I feel. Okay, there we go. Felt like it was a little, there we go. All right, and then bronzer. So I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in Caramel Cutie, and I'm just gonna be using the number 190 bronzer brush. And I actually really like this brush. I use it quite often for my bronzers, even ones that are not Fenty Beauty, because I like the shape of it. It's made to hug your cheek. You see how when I go in, it's already made to give that, to hug this part of your face right there. So, and if you see, it's tapered. So yeah. So I'm just gonna start from the top and bring that down right in that space. And if you have trouble trying to find where your bone is, if you move your face over to one side like this, the brush will literally fall right where it's supposed to go. And if you're not sure, I always use my trachea, which is this part of your ear right here, and put my brush there and just pull in. And I typically never let my bronzer go past the middle of my eye. I will stop right here, because then you're coming into the mouth part and there's really no separation. You don't want to drag it all the way down to your mouth. And then I'm just going to take whatever's left on the brush and go around the perimeter of my forehead. And I just like how just that quickly you can see that I have a warmed effect on my face. I really like that. So other side. And I typically, for me, I just like going in one direction. It can be faster to go back and forth, but I just like doing it that way. And then again, same difference, whatever's left on the brush. I'm just gonna go around the perimeter of my forehead. Now, I will go back and forth if I feel like it's too dark, just to kind of buff it out. But for the first application, I'll just go in like that. And then I always contour my chin. And I do that because when you contour your chin, if you are a person who has jowls, an old country word because I grew up in the country, but if you have like all these double chins and you want to give the illusion that they don't exist, just contour. It is the play on, well, I'm bronzing. So a lot of people ask, well, what's the difference between contour and bronzing? So your bronzers are typically going to be warmer in color, which means that they're going to give you like warmth to your face. So while it is a small contour, it's giving me color back in my face. So when you put on foundation, it makes your face one blank canvas of one color. When you go back in with bronzer, it's going back in and putting the natural coloring that you have back in your face. And sometimes it can be a little bit darker because it'll give you like the tan effect, but it's really just bringing life back into your face. Contour, on the other hand, is always going to be cooler, and the colors are typically a little bit deeper. So when you do your contour, typically it's not going to look as warm as this or as light. It's going to be really chiseled, and when you look at the face, you're going to look like this more so. Now we just look rounded and sun-kissed and more even, more lifelike. And you can use bronzer to contour, just use like a darker color. But I typically don't contour unless I'm doing a super dramatic look. I like my bronzers. I don't really go anywhere that would require me to have a super chiseled look. So, yep. So I think if you notice in the camera, my face looks more round. And then in the areas where you can still see, you can just add more. It's not going to make all of it go away, but you will look thinner. Okay. And so now I'm just going to do my nose and up under my lips, and that will move on to setting the face. So I'm just going to use my Real Techniques. This was an eyeshadow brush that I got from Ulta years ago. I'm still going into this bronzer shade, and I'm just going to dot. And it took me a while to get into nose contouring because I couldn't find a shade that I really liked. They were too dark, and I really just had trouble trying to apply it and, you know, not look over the top. And then I'm just going right here, giving myself just that little button tip. And right now it doesn't necessarily matter because we're all up under masks, but you know, just for fun, for practice, getting familiar with it. And then when these bronzers came out from Fenty Beauty, I really, really like them. I have them in several colors because sometimes I want a darker look, and then sometimes I want a lighter bronze. And I just like the ease of these, being able to go in and give myself some shape. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just like a nice blend in shape. Just a nice blended contour into my nose. And I also really, really like this eyeshadow brush because it's the perfect size to get in and just blend in where I want it to. It helps me control the product. It's a soft brush. So with softer brushes, they're more malleable. So when you tap into the product, you don't pick up as much as if you had a stiff brush. It's going to pick up a lot more product. And it's not going to move around as much. So, so I think this brush is really the best for it. I just like it in the space in my nose. I can control it. But I've had this brush probably 5 years now, maybe longer than that. So I don't even know if they sell it anymore. They might have it in Ulta. I actually went on the Real Techniques website to look at it, and I didn't even see this brush up here. So you might see it in Sephora, in Ulta, which is where I bought it. But again, this has been years ago, so I don't know. But anything in this shape, I know at the beauty supply store they have a lot of brushes that are in this shape. I don't recall seeing a size this small, but if you can find one, they probably have one on Amazon somewhere for a couple of dollars. I would recommend you get it. It will really, really help you with your nose contour and being able to control it and to apply it however you want to. All right, and now I'm gonna set my face. So I'm going to use the Rare Beauty, Always an Optimist 4-in-1 spray. I actually really like this spray. I don't have the Fenty Beauty, and it wasn't to be a full face of Fenty Beauty, but that's just what I'm using because I really like their products. I use the bronzer all the time. yeah, I use their lip scrub all the time. Their face stuff, I've never had an issue with any of their facial products. I'm just very light-handed with their products sometimes, so I feel like I can go a little bit heavier. But the Rare Beauty, I don't have the mist from Fenty Beauty, but I do really like this from Rare Beauty. I like the fact that it has a serum in it. It's a primer, setting spray. It has a serum in it, so you can use it as a refresher throughout the day. And I really like the way it makes my skin look. It looks healthy. And so I'm going to spray it on a sponge. Anybody who knows me knows I don't like just spraying it all over my face. I prefer to spray it on a sponge. I feel that I have greater control and I can actually press it into the skin. So that's literally what I do, is I just take the sponge and press it into my skin. And I feel like this gives me a melted looking effect. I think it just presses the product into my skin to make it just look buttery and velvet. And my favorite look for makeup is worn makeup. So I like how my makeup looks after it's been worn on my skin for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe a little bit longer than that. When your own oils start to peek through and show and it settles into your skin, that's when I like my makeup the most. So some people look how it likes, how it looks right after application, but I just like the way it looks. And I feel like when you set it right after you finish doing all of your products, it helps give that more melted, blended, worn effect. All right, so this is how we're looking right now. And as you can see, I feel like everything just kind of melted into my skin. And I'm just inspecting. I still have coverage. Although it's light, I still have covered up. I'm just trying to see, did the sponge pick up any of the product, how much of it picked up. So, okay. And now we're going to do eyeshadow. So today's star of the show is the BH Cosmetics January Birthstone Kit, which is Garnet. And so this is part of my series that I had been starting, and it just took forever for this to get here. So I'm so sorry to all the people who have birthdays in January, but I had planned to film this a lot earlier. I ordered this as soon as it became available, which was January 1st. Like on New Year's Eve, as soon as watch night service was over, I was on my computer at 12:01 buying this. So I was thinking that it would get there by like the second week, by the 14th of January. But with everything going on in the Capitol and the mail still being backed up from the holidays, I literally just got it this week. So that's why I'm rushing, trying to film this so I can actually get it in for the month of January. So I do apologize if you had a birthday in January. I didn't get the product until this week. So yeah, so apologies, but I did get it in a month. And I'm gonna be doing a video every month for all of the birthstones. So if whenever your birthday month comes up, look forward to me dropping a video to do it. This is what the palette looks like. It's $7 and you get 7 colors. So you're roughly paying $1 a color, a little bit over $1 if you include taxes. And based on the construction of the palette, it looks like the biggest color is going to be whatever the birthstone is for that month. So this is Garnet. Garnet is the birthstone for January. Looking at this, Garnet is more of a burgundy color, so that's why I have on all of the burgundy. My nails are burgundy. My top is burgundy. This was the only thing I had that was burgundy, so I was trying to pay tribute to all you January babies. Yeah, so it's a little pink, but we're gonna work with it. But I do think they have some pretty colors in here. We're definitely going to use this shimmery black color. Who is this? Street Smart. And they have two browns. So they have a cool tone dark chocolate brown and then more of a warm brown. Here they have, I'm assuming these two would be highlight colors for the eyes, so something you could put up under the brow. So it's like a white glittery color, champagne color, and then we have like a nude buffer color here. And then up here we have Go Getter, which is kind of like a red color, which to me is more garnet than this color, but we're going to work with it. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to start out with my eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Mary Kay eyeshadow primer. I really like this product. And actually, since I have on nails, I'm just going to, whoop, just take it and put it over my whole eye space with my finger. All right, so I'm gonna swatch the two red colors. So I'm going in with Garnet. So this is how it appears when I rub it in the pan from the pan, but it kind of gets a little lost after I rub it on my finger, but that's what it looks like. And then the other red color in the palette, which was called Go Getter, is more of like a red shade. So this is more like ruby to me, and this is just kind of like a pink topper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brown color and put that on my eyelid here to try to darken it and get more of a garnet color. We shall see how this works. This is experimentation 101, but I'm just going to do a simple color, a simple thing here. I'm just going to try to darken it, and then we're just going to line our eyes with this Street Smart color here. So I'm just going into the brown on a flat shader brush. Oh, I like that. And I'm just going to sweep that across my eye. Okay. So BH Cosmetics is definitely one of my favorite companies for brushes. I've had these brushes that I'm using for at least 4 or 5 years. It's probably time for me to get some new ones, but these are my tried and true brushes. I just love the way that they work. They last a long time. They're very, very, very cost effective. These brushes I like the most overall. Like, I have 1 or 2 brushes from other people, like my Real Techniques that I was using for my nose, but I just like how that brush can fit into my nose area. I'm gonna go up a little bit higher, and I'm actually gonna switch to another brush. So this is like a blending eyeshadow brush, and it has nothing on it. I'm just gonna go over, I'm just gonna go over that area and just kind of smudge it out, because this is just the base, so we can darken up those red eyeshadow colors. Ooh, there we go, lost focus. So they can be a little bit more garnet color, what I feel like is a garnet color. So I'm just gonna take this brush and just tap into the red. Okay. And I'm just literally just tapping the brush. I like that. And remember, you guys, if you do want to get this palette just to have as like a keepsake, if you're a January person, or if you really like the colors in this palette, it's $7. And just remember that the quality might not be what you would expect from like an Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, or definitely like a Pat McGrath palette or anything like that. But for the price point, I feel like the eyeshadows are doing pretty well. Okay. And I really like how this came out, how the brown kind of offset how red it was. It deepened it a little bit. I feel like I could have actually went a little bit deeper with the brown, but this is good enough for me. And this is also, if you're a person who's not used to wearing, you know, bright colors like reds or anything, you can always tone it down with the brown, so it won't be so strong. And I think I like this. I'm not gonna add like any brown to darken the colors. I think I'm just gonna take this Street Smart color that I keep talking about all the time, and we're going to line our eyes with it to give us a festive look, since this is supposed to be a celebration for all our January babies out there. So I'm gonna go in and swatch this color. Ooh, okay. So a lot came off. That's what it looks like. And forgive my red finger up under there. So I'm just going to, I like that. It's a lot of glitter in it though. Okay. So I'm going to come on. So I'm going to take my angle brush. This is a Morphe M217 brush. So it's really just like a angle brush that you would use for eyeliner. And I'm going to use it for eyeliner. I'm trying to decide what mixing medium I'm going to use. And when I say that, because it's so glittery, I kind of want it to... I want my brush to be a little bit wet so it can hold a product. And so I just took my setting spray and I wet my brush, And I'm just going to pick some up, just roll it around, try to get it to a point. And I'm just going to start lining my eye with it. And it is really glittery. So I'm glad that I used a mixing agent enough to wet the brush. And if you don't have anything, you can use water. But I like setting spray because it's supposed to be emollient enough to make your eyeshadow stick. There we go. We're just going to do a little wing. I like that. Something festive. And if you don't want to do that, I know some people, they use lash glue. I don't want to put lash glue for eyeliner. So, yeah. And so I'm just going to add some more mixing agent, or excuse me, some more setting spray. And one of the reasons I like using setting spray, this is not the first time I've used setting spray, is because you spray setting spray all over your face anyway. So I just feel more comfortable with it, that it's safe with putting it so close to my eye. I know mixing agents are made to be, you know, be able to go over your eye and everything, because you're mixing it for an eyeshadow to go over your eye to pick up product. But I don't know, I still think in the back of my mind that they're still considered like a facial glue. Essentially, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's like an eyeshadow glue, so you're putting glue over your eyes, and it just makes me feel a little weird, even though I do the same thing with lash glue. But then you can go in and fill in any gaps that you may see. I was thinking that the pigment was going to be, since it had black in it, that it was going to be a little bit darker, but it seems like there's a heavy ratio of silver in the liner, so it's a little bit it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. So that is our look. I like it. It's simple, but I really, really like it. And so if you wanted to do black eyeliner up under the bottom, if you're a person who has larger eyes, then you can go in and if you want your eyes to appear smaller, you can go in with a black eyeliner in your waterline. I'm trying to decide. I'm just gonna smudge some black eyeshadow up under. Nope. I'm gonna use this color Works It and smudge it up under, because my goal is just to have use one eyeshadow palette for my looks and not to have to switch over to different eyeshadow palettes. So we're gonna go in with the darker brown color here that looks kind of like a, excuse me, brown black color, and we're gonna run that under the bottom of our lash. Excuse me, we're gonna smudge it up under our bottom lash line. And so I have another BH Cosmetics brush, and this is just kind of like a little short smudger brush, and I'm just going to take it and just dip the tip into that. I'm not going to pick up a lot at all, and I'm literally, oh yeah. And I'm just going to smudge it just like that. And I came down too far on this side. So I'm just trying to buff out some of that extra. And I might go back in with some concealer. Okay, there we go. And so we can complete our wing by just going in and going right up under it to give it a more solidified look. There we go. And that is our eye look. I like that. I like the festivity of it. Okay, and so now we're going to do lashes. And so typically when I do a darker eye, I will put on lashes, because your regular lashes can get lost in the sauce when you use lighter colors or more flesh tone colors. You can use a very nice mascara to elongate and curl your regular lashes, and you won't have to go in with falsies. But I do want to look like I have some lashes, so we're gonna go ahead and apply some lashes. So we're going to use the Lily Lashes Chrome Lashes, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply these. I'll be using my tried and true House of Lashes glue. It looks white in the tube, but it actually dries down clear. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do today is, since our look is a little bit more dramatic, and you can see how adding lashes really makes a difference to how it looks. You can see it better with the lashes and everything. I'm actually gonna go into the Garnet color, and because it's more of like a pinky tone and it has a sheen to it, that's gonna be our highlighter slash blush today. And so I'm literally just going to take a little bit on my finger, smile, and just dab it on my cheeks. And I'm just going to build it up slowly but surely. And you see how pink it is? And I'm just going to take it back. Ooh. Might have been a little bit too heavy-handed. Take my bronzer brush and take the back side and just kind of blend that in. Okay, and then for lip color, we are going to use the Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle. See Mademoiselle and Griselda. So we're just going all deep burgundy out, and excuse the dirty tube. All right, and I'm just going to take my little brush and clean up around the edges. And the trick people use is they use concealer, just a little smudge. I'm going to take it on my brush and literally rub some on the back of my hand, and then just go in and make those lines straight. So if you ever wonder how people have those perfect red lips, so this is the finished look, and I will be right back, all put together. All right, guys, final look. I think it turned out pretty well. What do you think? All right. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. And again, happy birthday to all my January Garnet birthstone babies out there. Sorry it took so long for this video to come out. But everybody, please stay tuned for a birthstone makeup look every month for the rest of the year. So until the next time, guys, take care, stay safe. Have a good day. Bye.